Now at 9, Newton County loses state funding over a property tax dispute, and now residents take their fight to lawmakers. Plus, authorities in Oklahoma make arrest in an 11-year-old murder cold case.
For what have you done to the least of these, you've done unto me. Tonight on KOAM News, we'll speak with a pastor of taking these words to heart and open up a Monday through Friday shelter for the homeless. I'm Ty Parks, and we'll have that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Newton County residents take their fight against property tax hikes directly to state lawmakers at a town hall tonight in Neosho, Missouri. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Newton County property owners face a 12% tax increase as state officials demand higher assessments despite local resistance. The Missouri State Tax Commission ordered 80 counties to raise property valuations to comply with state law, but Newton County Assessor Cheryl Perkins refused to comply. The state has already withheld more than $108,000 in funding from Newton County and threatens to cut off sales tax revenue next. Perkins argues families cannot afford another financial burden as utility bills and insurance costs climb. Tonight's town hall at Crowder College brings together State Senator Jill Carter, Perkins, and frustrated property owners seeking solutions to the escalating dispute. We'll have more from tonight's meeting and hear from State Senator Carter later in the show. Prosecutors charged 2 people in a Northeast Oklahoma murder investigation dating back more than 10 years. The suspects, James Larson Jr. and Penny Larson, are both charged with first-degree murder for the death of Dustin Ray Carver. Carver was last seen at a home in Kansas, Oklahoma in 2014. Authorities had issued a search warrant at the home and discovered a burn pile where they found human remains. And then in July of this year, the Clinton County, Missouri Sheriff's Office contacted Oklahoma authorities with new leads in the case. The OSBI says investigators were able to gather information from James Larson Jr., who was an inmate in the Clinton County Jail. This month, authorities arrested Penny Larson and charged James Larson, who was already in custody. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, and of course, we had showers, we had thunderstorms for us, especially during the morning hours, and then scattered thunderstorms during the afternoon into the evening hours. Had a window for a little bit of severe weather late this afternoon into the evening hours, but all severe weather stayed to our south, down across parts of Arkansas and also into Oklahoma. We had some pop-up thunderstorms just a couple hours ago. These are scooting off toward the south into the east. Now it looks pretty calm as we go through the rest of the night. Yeah, we're going to have a couple random light little showers. Not a big deal. Here's 7 a.m., mid-60s. Once we get into the afternoon, we get scattered thunderstorms again. Not strong, not severe, just scattered pop-up thunderstorms, especially in southwest Missouri, continuing into the evening hours and then starting to fall apart as we go into Thursday. Looks pretty good. We start to dry out a bit. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Recent studies list Joplin's homeless population in the hundreds, and for any city, that can mean stress on existing resources. But Joplin now has a new resource to ease some of the stress for its homeless population. A new daytime shelter. As KOAM's Ty Park shows us, this can mean a shower, clothing, and a safe place to rest.
Whatever you've done to the least of these, my brethren, you have done unto me. These are the words of Christ that inspired the Last Days Shelter.
So God gave us the idea to begin to open up Monday through Friday as a day center so that we can begin to do more to help our folks and more of a service for our folks.
Monday through Friday, people can come and take a shower, get clothes, and have a safe place to rest.
God has just been really on us about being more intentional about loving our folks and really beginning to help them, give them a hand up instead of a handout.
Wednesdays, the staff will go out in the public and meet people for lunch and be in their space where they are. Tuesdays are discipleship days dedicated to getting closer to God.
We have to be willing to help them get up, help them come out of the pit. And most of the folks we serve here are in a pit. They're at the very bottom. They want desperately to come off the street. They want to get freedom for their lives, and they don't know how to do it. And so that's what we're here for. We're here to help them do that.
As we'll pick people up through the city and bring them to the shelter at 2124 Utica Street in Joplin.
And my belief is that the only way to help these people find freedom for their lives and get off the drugs and help get off the street is to get them connected with Jesus.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The NAS is looking for donations and volunteers to help with their mission. For those interested, the drop-off location is the Joplin First Church of the Nazarene. More than 200 companies from across the Midwest packed into Pitt State's Crossland Technology Center for this year's Company Days today. The annual event connects students in programs like construction, engineering technology, automotive, and graphic communications with industry leaders.
We want that connection to happen early. For all of our majors, we want them to realize how big this world is, and it's not just local companies, these are national and international companies.
Students had the chance to network face-to-face with company representatives, while businesses got to showcase what they do and recruit top-tier talent. Coming up, a battle is brewing over property taxes in Southwest Missouri.
Property taxes are at the show as residents.
But up first, tick season refuses to end this year. Health experts say warmer fall weather keeps these disease-carrying pests active longer. We're going to show you how to protect your family. Tick season may be applying for an extension as health and environmental experts say conditions in the fall are becoming more prime for these creatures to remain active. Fox News correspondent Chanley Painter takes a closer look at the risk and one invasive species helping numbers to surge.
This year, we like to say it's a little tickier than past.
While the CDC says ticks are usually more active during the warmer months of April through September, health experts say exposure can happen year-round in portions of the country as rising average global temperatures help prolong the heat into the fall and can lead to shorter winters.
We did experience an increase in the number of ticks that we received for testing.
Teams at the Tick Research Lab of Pennsylvania say there's many different species that can transmit different diseases, with Lyme disease the most common.
Our most common tick that we get here in the Northeast and Pennsylvania is the black-legged tick. We've been seeing an increase in American dog ticks as well as the Asian longhorn and the Lone Star tick.
The Asian longhorned tick in particular is causing headaches. The invasive species was first confirmed in the U.S. back in 2017 in New Jersey. Since then, it has spread to more than 20 states, and this July, it was confirmed as far northeast as Maine.
It can reproduce without mating. So when she gets her full blood meal, she will produce viable eggs, and those will hatch into larval ticks. So they are very quick spreading.
And while Asian longhorned ticks tend to go after livestock,
we have seen a decent number of them also now attaching to humans as well as companion animals, so such as your dog or your cat or things like that.
Even if ticks aren't a high risk where you're from, health experts still urge caution if you're heading into a wooded area this fall to peep autumn leaves. I'm Chanley Painter, Fox News.
Well, not enough women are being screened for anxiety and depression before and after pregnancy. A study of large urban medical centers published in JAMA found only 3 to 14% of women were screened for anxiety and depression. And 50 to 70% of women with symptoms of mental health disorders do not get a diagnosis. Women who do receive mental health services show faster reduction in depression symptoms. Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, winter is coming and the concern will soon shift to icy roads. But will there be enough snowplow drivers to keep them clear?
Well, of course, showers, thunderstorms for us today, especially during the morning hours. Widespread rain across the region. We've had hit and miss storms over the past couple days, but it was really good to get some widespread rain where everybody got it as we worked through the past 24 hours. On average, most of us 1 to 2 inches. You can see about 1.2, 1.2, 2.1 up toward Chanute. We had some 2s out there. We had a couple 3s, heaviest once you get down toward Table Rock Lake. So pretty good rainfall amounts across the region. Heaviest thunderstorms now in north central parts of Arkansas. We had a brief window for severe weather earlier this afternoon. All that has rolled east. There is one little severe thunderstorm warning near Springfield, but I think we look pretty good as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Let's go through time. Thunderstorms still kind of ongoing. Northwestern parts of Arkansas. Here's midnight, a couple random showers. As we get into the morning hours, some hit and miss showers out there. Not a big deal. I think most of the morning, just a random shower. But once we get into the afternoon, we'll see some scattered thunderstorms start to pop up. Temperatures near 70 by the noon hour, and then you can see scattered thunderstorms. Some of these guys, a little beefy, should stay below severe limits in southwest Missouri, especially here's 4 p.m. Any thunderstorms we do see will rotate out and fizzle apart once we get into the evening, and then pretty calm heading all the way into Thursday morning. We'll start near 60 degrees. As we go through the morning hours on Thursday into the afternoon, a great day. Partly to mostly sunny skies. High temperatures are going to go into the upper 70s by Thursday afternoon. All right, additional rainfall. This is going to be mainly tomorrow afternoon with the scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region. So we'll have to see what decides to pop up. It's going to be very hit and miss as we go through the next 24 hours. 65 to start, 70 by noon. High temp right around 74 as we go into Wednesday afternoon. Great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. A little bit of a breeze out there. Temperatures sitting kind of 68, 69, 70 degrees. So fairly comfortable as this part of our wave is shifting by, and then the backside is going to clip in. That's what's going to give us scattered showers as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. All right, let's go through the rest of the week. Friday looks great. Lower 80s or near 80, 79, 80, 81 degrees. So that means for high school football, shaping up pretty good. A little warmer as we go into the weekend. Low to mid 80s, 4 highs on Saturday. By Sunday, also low to mid 80s, but the weekend should be dry. A little warm on Sunday, and we stay really nice heading into Monday as well. So we get a nice little stretch of very good weather. 74 on Wednesday, 76 Thursday, 79 Friday, but 80s rolling in as we go into the weekend and staying into the 80s most of next week.
Yeah, not bad temperatures. Starting to feel a little bit more like fall.
Overall looking pretty good.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, it's officially fall now, but MoDOT is looking ahead to winter and putting out the Help Wanted sign for drivers. Nick Kelly has the new incentive from MoDOT to get people behind the wheel of snowplows and salt trucks.
Todd Duncan is a trucker for St. James Transports and operates around the Springfield area. While his travels don't often go very far, he knows how important safe roads and warm and cold months are for truckers like him and crews keeping roads clear.
For them, it's hazardous. For a truck driver, it's hazardous, but without them, our roads aren't clear. The product doesn't get there safely, so we owe a lot to MoDOT.
MoDOT in the Ozarks and across the state were short on drivers last winter. Drivers got shifted around to help keep all state roads in order. MoDOT says this year it's trying something new to get part-time drivers hired, especially in the Springfield area where the most vacancies are.
We are being more flexible with them because part-time help, they generally have another job, or maybe they're retired, or they've got a side gig. And so we're offering an 8-hour shift for them.
This new 8-hour shift has a minimum starting pay of $22.91 per hour across the Ozarks and starting pay of $25.91 an hour for jobs around Kansas City and St. Louis. While part-time applicants should have a commercial driver's license, full-time recruits can get training with MoDOT to get their CDL. Hemmelink says there's no need for anyone to worry about where the money will come from to cover these drivers and their rotating shifts behind the wheel. As for Duncan, he's hopeful the flexible hours can let MoDOT get people on board.
I know some of the older guys, they can push it for 16, but I think the 8 hours, that flexible, is really going to be beneficial for everyone's health and safety and just well-being.
Along with keeping roads safe this winter.
Coming up next, no more hoopla.
Joplin Public Library patrons will soon lose access to a notable online resource. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll tell you what today's big announcement from the library was, coming up.
Join Pittsburgh's Walk to End Alzheimer's September 27th.
Victoria.
The Joplin Public Library is cutting a popular digital service at the end of October. The budget decision affects thousands of patrons who use Hoopla for ebooks and audiobooks. KOAM's Kenny Foreman explains what this means for your library access.
Beginning on October 31st, Joplin Public Library patrons will no longer have online access to Hoopla. This announcement came today after the library passed its budget for the 2026 fiscal year. PR and marketing assistant Lori Crockett says the library simply couldn't afford to accommodate all its users.
We were having to limit how many books could be downloaded by our patrons to stay within our budget, which led to only about 4% of our active patrons being able to use the service. So just sustainability-wise, it wasn't something that we could do long-term.
Hoopla users such as Joplin resident Louis Lagasse are disappointed, but understand the library's perspective.
If they're paying every time I check out a book, then that's not particularly great.
The loss of Hoopla marks a big change given that it makes up 15% of the library's digital materials and 78% of overall materials. The library hopes that its patrons will switch over to some of the other online resources that are provided.
We are encouraging people to look at things like Libby. We have Canopy, which is a resource for streaming movies and television shows. We have Flipster, which you can look at magazines through. And then, of course, we always encourage people to come into the library and physically get books and movies and magazines and all of those wonderful resources.
Crockett says the library plans to reallocate the funds in order to make other materials more accessible.
Being able to take a look at those holds lists and say, oh, this book is really popular, it has a lot of holds, we're going to be able to purchase a few more copies of that and get our patrons through that line and really make sure that they're getting to read what they want.
In Joplin, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Although Hoopla access will be unavailable after October 31st, any content borrowed prior to then can still be accessed until its due date. Well, Amazon is facing a jury trial in Seattle focusing on allegations by federal regulators that it duped customers into signing up for Prime membership and made it difficult to cancel. The FTC alleges Amazon was part of what it called a years-long effort to trick millions of customers into automatically renewing Prime subscriptions. Amazon denies the accusations. Spirit Airlines announced it's putting about 1,800 flight attendants on leave as it cuts flights and restructures the business to reduce costs. The budget carrier has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection twice this year. An airline spokesperson confirmed the furloughs to CBS News after they were first reported in the Wall Street Journal. Well, coming up next, what weapon was used to hunt the woolly mammoth? We'll take you to Vermont to find out. Dozens of athletes come together in Vermont over the weekend for a prehistoric dart competition. Competitors of all ages took turns hurling an atlatl, an ancient spear-throwing tool, at a bullseye target. The stick was once used to hunt massive animals like the woolly mammoth, long before recorded history. The annual contest tests throwers on accuracy and distance.
We get to use the same weapons that were used 15,000 years ago all over the world. This came before the bow and arrow. It's accessible, but it also feels like you could actually do some harm to an animal because that's actually what these were used for.
The ancient spear throwing competition ends with a grand champion shootout. This year marked the 30th edition of the event, keeping the spirit of ancient history alive with every throw. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Property owners pack a Neosho town hall tonight to fight tax increases. We take you inside the meeting. And President Trump demands the UN step up on global crises. His blunt message to world leaders coming up.
8 months no interest financing and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Newton County homeowners pack a town hall tonight to confront state lawmakers over a property tax dispute. The state is currently withholding funding after the county assessor refused to raise property valuations. KOAM's Blake Gully joins us from Crowder College, where frustrated residents are demanding answers.
Inside a packed auditorium at Crowder College, dozens of Newton County homeowners demanded clarity on what a 12% increase in property taxes could mean for their families.
What we're seeing is a 3-panel unelected board, a bureaucracy essentially, putting pressure on our local assessors and our county to increase our property taxes.
The State Tax Commission has ordered Newton County to raise property taxes by 12%. So far, the county's assessor has pushed back.
I don't think anybody could handle a 12% increase on their real estate. You know, their utility bills just went up, insurance went up last year. all the utilities are going up, and I just can't be the one to throw another increase on them with the tax burden going up. So I'm withholding on that and trying to keep everything down until we can come out with a better plan.
Crowder College's president also addressed the crowd, weighing in on the property tax dispute.
My concern is that we approach these decisions around property taxes very carefully and understand the local impact, because you have sheriff's departments, emergency services, libraries, road districts, school districts, all impacted by these decisions.
The dispute between Newton County and the State Tax Commission remains unresolved for now. Reporting in Neosho, Missouri, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
Now, the dispute over property taxes will continue when the state Senate is back in session. Once again, if Republicans and Democrats don't come to an agreement on a spending bill soon, the government will shut down. President Trump nixed a Thursday meeting with Democratic leaders aimed at averting a potential shutdown next week. Any spending bill will need at least 60 votes to clear a filibuster in the Senate. That means at least some Democrats will need to be on board to get it done. House Republicans passed a Band-Aid spending bill last week to keep the government open, but Democrats blocked that measure in the Senate, and the House is out until after the deadline. If there's no deal, the government will close a week from tomorrow. President Trump spoke today at the United Nations General Assembly with a blunt and pointed speech, calling for the organization and countries around the world to step up. Fox News senior correspondent Eric Shawn has more with a wrap of today's action.
In his address to the UN General Assembly Tuesday, President Trump declared the U.S. is in a golden age.
Under my leadership, energy costs are down, gasoline prices are down, grocery prices are down, mortgage rates are down, and inflation has been defeated.
He also dished out harsh criticism to the rest of the world.
Your countries are going to hell.
The president slammed migration and green energy policies, especially in Europe.
You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble.
During his nearly hour-long speech, President Trump said the United Nations was not living up to its potential and railed against its failure to end wars.
What is the purpose of the United Nations? For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war.
On the sidelines, Trump met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as the war with Russia rages on.
Ukraine, I tell you, they are good fighters. Gotta hand it to them. They have a lot of courage, a lot of guts.
The president pressed others to stop buying Russian energy, which he says Russia uses to fund the fighting, and got backing from the president of the European Commission.
But we have to be faster because every payment is filling Putin's war chest. This cannot be.
When asked, President Trump also said NATO member countries should shoot down Russian aircraft that enter their airspace.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later a higher power gift.
A gift to a local nonprofit hopes to help with their mission of addressing community transportation needs for years to come. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Arts and Entertainment Complex, home of Connect a Culture and Spiva Center for the Arts.
Well, of course, we got showers. We had thunderstorms out there during the morning hours for us today. Very scattered during the afternoon, but some areas picked up some heavy amounts of rain. Once again, over the past 36 hours, a lot of 2, 3, 4 inches southwest Missouri into northwest Arkansas, but on average, most of us about 1 to 2 inches over the past 36 hours, which, hey, we'll definitely take. We could use a little bit of rain. All right, all the big time thunderstorms now down to our south across eastern Oklahoma down through central parts of Arkansas. There was some severe weather a little bit earlier this evening, but most of us have been pretty calm past couple hours. Thunderstorms rolling off toward the east, so we are looking pretty good back here in the four-state area. All right, let's go through time. As we go through tonight, by midnight, still a couple random little tiny showers. Let me take you into Wednesday morning again. Mostly cloudy, random light shower, not a big deal. As we go to about the noon hour, we warm to about 70, but then we get on the back side of the system, so we get pop up. scattered showers, even some thunderstorms across the region, especially southwest Missouri. I don't think these are going to be very strong or severe, but yeah, we may have some rumbles of thunder out there as we get into Wednesday afternoon. Most of these are going to fall apart by late evening, and then we're pretty much smooth sailing from that point on for the next several days. Kicking off Thursday near 60. Once we get into about Thursday afternoon, beautiful day, beautiful fall-like day. High temps, 76, 77, 78 degrees. So we get a pretty good stretch, especially as we get into Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right, additional rainfall over the next 24 hours. Not much. Kansas, Oklahoma, and then Missouri and Arkansas start to pick up a little bit. There's going to be some pockets that pick up another ½ an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch in spots across the region. Day planner on your Wednesday, 65 to start, 70 by noon. High temp, 74, looks great. Great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We are looking downtown Joplin, 68 in Monette, still 74 in Grove. Chanute is sitting at 69 degrees. And here's our little back wave that will give us those showers popping up for us tomorrow afternoon. Friday looks great. Upper 70s to near 80 as we go into Friday. So Friday evening, high school football is going to be perfect. Saturday, a little warmer. We go into the mid 80s, dry. On Sunday, we also go into the mid 80s and dry. So we get a dry stretch across the region. Let me show you why. This system pulling out of here, you can see our jet stream getting stronger. See how these white lines are getting closer? But there's really nothing organized across the entire Central Plains all next week. So we get a, probably 7-9 day dry stretch. 74 on your Wednesday, 76 Thursday, 79 on Friday. Mid 80s as we go into Saturday and Sunday, and we kind of hold into the low to mid 80s all of next week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd like to see 70s across the board, but those evening temperatures are great too.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's slowly cooling off.
Yeah,
so.
Giving my AC a break.
Yeah.
It's chilly in the mornings, that's for sure though.
There you go.
All right, thanks Doug.
You bet.
Well, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. It's called the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, Joplin Volleyball is at home for a matchup against the Nixa Eagles. Plus, get a closer look at the Neosho football team following its undefeated 4-0 start. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next in sports.
Show opens Friday, September 26th, Joplin History and Mineral Museum.
Hello, I'm to win $1 million. The only rule is don't finish last. 99 to Beat premieres this Wednesday on Fox.
For the second straight year, Neosho football started the season with 4 straight wins. Last year, the Wildcats finished with a winning record for the first time since 2018. Now they're well on their way to doing it again. And if you ask head coach Brandon Towdy, the result on the field are a clear reflection of the team's hard work off of it.
We've got a good group of kids that have put in a ton of work in the offseason. They've dedicated a lot of time since January, and so they're committed, and they just continue to show up every single day, ready to work and focus on that day and get better. And so when you invest that kind of time and work hard like they have, you can see the results from that.
This Wildcat team embraces physicality, and that all starts with the guys up front on the offensive and defensive lines. All summer, they've worked in the weight room. They treat every practice like the real thing, as an opportunity to get better. The whole team has embraced that mentality, and it's shown on game day.
So far, I think we've been meshing really well, which I account a lot of that to the summer. I mean, we were working hours and hours, tirelessly working here. And then just the bond we have built over the last 3 years of most of this team being together is really helping that. We call ourselves the Black Mafia, which is our quote that we live by is, "This is the business we have chosen." So we're ready to die for this team. Like every single one of us, we're together day in, day out. We were together every single day last summer. It's just helped us, mesh really well, and then that's what we start the offense. The team follows the herd is what we say. So
iron sharpens iron. So really at practice, we be
hitting really, really hard here. So like we're just giving each other the best look possible. So every Friday we can just go out and do our thing, just play football.
The Wildcats' next game is a must-watch. They take on 3-1 Webb City at home this Friday, looking to keep their undefeated streak alive. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. In Major League Baseball, the Royals and Cardinals begin road trips on the West Coast. And as we go live, Kansas City holds a 2-0 lead over the Angels, but the Cardinals let their 3-0 lead over the Giants slip away. It's currently tied at 3 apiece in San Francisco. Joplin High School volleyball is back on the court tonight for a matchup with Nixa. It's an Eagle versus Eagle matchup in Joplin. Liliana Pryor with the first serve of the game. Nixa sets it up for Kimberly McCowan, whose attack finds floor. McCowan gets the kill for the first point of the match. Nixa up 5-1. Pryor returns the serve. Nixa's Taylor Wood goes for the kill, but it's blocked by Aubrey Strickland and Leighton Pena, and Joplin reduces the lead to 3. Joplin looking to fight its way back into this one. Nixa's Gwen Kubik goes for the kill, and it just does stay in bounds as the Eagles take the 7-2 lead. We head to the end of the first set. Nixa can clinch it with a point. Ola McClure digs it out and keeps Joplin alive, but the Eagle attack goes out of bounds. As Nixa takes the first set, they go on to sweep Joplin in 3. Well, we unfortunately have some bad news to close out sports today. Hall of Fame Pitt State former basketball coach Clarence Gene Iba passed away this week. Iba coached the Gorillas for 15 years, leading the program to its first national tournament appearance and MIAA regular season title.
That's right, he was the coach here when I moved here in 2005.
Yeah, and I'm sure the men's basketball team will play extremely motivated this season. They're going to want to support the program's former head coach.
Yeah, pretty cool. Hey, but the Royals are up right now. That's good.
Yes, the Royals looking good. Unfortunately, their season playoff hopes are basically
it kind of doesn't mean anything.
Basically
at this point,
nil, but they can finish the year with an above 500 record. That stuff means something to them. So
it does.
Hopefully they can finish with a winning record, be on the right side.
That is right. We're back with more news after this. For the past 5 years, Higher Power Garage in Joplin has helped to get hundreds of families into safer vehicles. The auto shop serves those in need in the community, such as lower-income families, single parents, and veterans, with minor repairs like replacing brakes and tires. And now, as KOAM's Samantha Walker shows us, an investment from a local couple will help the nonprofit continue this mission for years to come.
I never dreamed it could ever be anything like it is today.
Already this year, Higher Power Garage has done 500 repairs, 40 more than they did in all of 2024.
That puts us over 2,000 repairs in the last 4.5 years and over $350,000 worth of free labor.
The low-cost repair shop, started by Mike Gideon, works with families living at 150% of the poverty level, repairing their cars with free labor. They also offer educational programs from basic maintenance to budgeting and how to buy car insurance.
It's really about giving a hand up. It's about helping them not just in their situation at the moment, but how do we better that situation in the future?
The future is exactly what a gift from Jan and Wes Hauser is helping to support. A $50,000 endowment fund established by the Joplin Regional Community Foundation and managed by the Community Foundation of the Ozarks.
It puts the money where you're not touching the money, you're only touching any sort of dividends or investment income that it provides.
The Hauser family learned about Higher Power through the Community Foundation, who says the mission of the nonprofit really stuck with them.
People who might not otherwise be able to afford one and might need it to get to work or get their kids to school, and that can really be a springboard toward better self-sufficiency, and I think those tenets of the mission here really spoke to Mr. and Mrs. Hauser.
I was working in the shop a few weeks ago, and Wes pulls up and calls me and says, "Hey, would you come out and sit in my truck with me?" He tells me that they had it on their heart to help us with an endowment fund. And when they told me the amount, I was staggered.
It's a gift that both the Hausers and Gideon hope will make an impact even after they're gone.
Transportation is essential, and we hope to continue to grow this to make it to where it eliminates transportation as a barrier in our community.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Higher Power Garage team hopes to grow the endowment fund so it will eventually completely cover shop overhead costs. That'll allow donations to go directly into their efforts to get safe vehicles to community members. Up next, we preview the season finale of The Terminal List, the explosive stunts and the emotional themes behind the show. The mission is almost complete for The Terminal List, Dark Wolf, as the Prime Video prequel series closes in on its season 1 finale tomorrow. The cast opens up about the intense action, tactical realism, and deeper psychological themes that shape the series. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the story.
I'm offering you a chance to finish what you started.
Prime Video's The Terminal List, Dark Wolf, is closing in on its season finale. Taylor Kitsch leads the charge as Ben Edwards in a final chapter that puts loyalty, survival, and consequences to the ultimate test.
More twists, more action. I think there's a massive heartbeat to this season that is different as well. And the repercussion of service, that was a big thing for us.
There are elements and instincts and vices that are part of who Ben is. And I think the complexity of that kind of battle between the light wolf and dark wolf, that's something that we all as humans deal with, whether you're civilian, foreign military. It's very relatable.
We're all in deeper than we thought.
The stunt work on set amped up the adrenaline with high-powered sequences and real tactical training.
To represent the military and the spec ops side authentically. And it always comes down to getting the small details right, and then you can get the big details right to be as authentic as possible.
We're like shooting 50 cal machine guns off the top of Humvees. Some of the sequences we're doing are just crazy, and you feel like you're really in it at times. It's pretty bonkers.
I think I had like 3 days of just hanging out of a Black Hawk helicopter, literally, and we look at each other, me and Tom Hopper and Chris, and we actually felt like we shouldn't be paid for this. This is just too much fun.
The show explores deeper psychological themes.
It's the conflict between helping others and helping yourself. Everyone is facing a soul journey and big questions. And so that once that's then we lay on top of that spycraft and warcraft and all that stuff, and you get something that people want to return to.
There are no breaks.
The series wraps up Wednesday. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a giant anteater cub at a zoo in Germany. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.